people, welcome back to Let's Talk Everything. I'm your Chinese psychotherapist, welcome, who talks about everything and anything. If you're new here, yeah, I'm just a guy that talks about various topics. That's what it is. It's a YouTube thing, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But for the people that are already here, comment, like, share and subscribe. And I appreciate for the love and support that people are showing to this channel. I really do appreciate it. I've got 203 subscribers and I was gassed. I'm telling you, I'm gassed, man. We're starting off small, but we'll grow into something big, man. And with you people that are choosing to support the channel, I appreciate that, dog. I appreciate that, dog. But anyways, let's get into it, man. Liverpool played yesterday at the San Siro, man. At the San Siro against Inter Milan. And sorry, apologies, FYI. I've got my son here who's doing kind of mechanic kids on the iPad. So if you hear little twinkle twinkle stuff, that's him. But yeah, Liverpool played Inter Milan at the San Siro. Hey, after a game against Leeds, which I thought, you know, the manager done really well. I think it wasn't really on the manager. That was individual mistakes. And, you know, if you've got Ellen Road jumpy like that, you leave with a 3-3 draw. So, you know, going to the San Siro was my expectation. I thought it was going to get packed in. This is an Inter Milan team that is scoring goals, right? They are doing well in their respective league. And, you know, with Kefren Turan, Martinez on the score sheet, I think you had accompanying us some of these Italians, the likes of Breleba, Bastoni, the sort of rigid defense that they had as well. Bro, I thought, you know, this San Siro game was going to be a long day. And generally, I'll be very honest with you. I thought this was a game, considering that City and Real Madrid will play today, with the rumblings about Xabi Alonso. I thought, you know, what with the whole manager situation, if he does get sacked and if Man City pack in Real Madrid today, which I think they would, Xabi Alonso will be the contender. But reports are coming out that Liverpool are trying to back Arne Slot as well. I think they backed him with this decision with the Mo Salah. And just quickly on the Mo Salah, I'm going to do a separate video. I really want to talk about ego. I spoke about how ego doesn't really have its place in parenting. And I think I want to talk about how does ego and football sort of relate, and my sort of therapeutic lens. I wanted to do that thought process towards that. So I want to give a thought to that, and I'll do a separate video for that. But let's get into yesterday's game. And boy, once again, I said Leeds game, Arne Slot played. I think that was a game that I saw where Arne Slot didn't want to play. He didn't want to lose that game. And I felt yesterday's game, it felt more of that game. Play not to lose. Play not to concede chances. Play not to concede set pieces. Play a very disciplined, a defensive disciplined game. I saw that yesterday. I think yesterday was the type of game. Starting lineup was good, bar the fact that I feel Florian Wirtz, especially how he's doing well in the Champions League. I thought Florian Wirtz should have started, but I saw it. You know what I'm saying? And I think this sort of diamond sort of midfield that he sort of play with Szoboszlai, Gravenberch and McAllister all rotating. And I must say, I want to highlight Curtis Jones again. I've been screaming at Curtis Jones to start. Leeds, he was my man of the match, and yesterday there's a number of people that should have got man of the match. Ryan Gravenberch got a man of the match, but Szoboszlai can give it to Szoboszlai. But I think Curtis Jones was the guy as well. I think what I really started to see, how he really wants to play forward. He really wants to give it to the likes of Ekitike, Isak. He wants to get the ball ticking, gets the ball moving. It's sort of the sort of side to side sort of football that we tend to do as well. Because I will talk about the attack in a second, but I think with Curtis Jones, I think he's the kind of sort of player that's sort of trying to get things ticking. And what I really noticed that him and Szoboszlai and even Gravenberch, when they were sort of rotating, bro, I think they man are in sync. I think these men are starting to find a sort of little rhythm in the middle of the park, which I think, you know, it's been lackluster in the middle of the park. But I think the way we're sort of rotating the midfield, everyone's playing almost like the 6, the 8, the 10. So, and everyone's having an opportunity to, you know, press the opposition players, have a chance to go into the half spaces. You've got certain players like dropping in, picking up the ball from the defenders. But I just love that sort of rotation. Something that I saw similar last season with Arne Slot, the way that players can able to sort of rotate, where you see Szoboszlai, who's, you know, part of the attack, or you see Szoboszlai picking up the ball from the defenders. I'm just starting to really like that. And I think that is sort of breeding that sort of rhythm. Bro, I'm sorry, I've got some notes here, people. Yeah, I said that play not to lose. Curtis Jones, man of the match again, which I said. And Florian Wirtz when he comes on. This is the reason why I think he should have played the whole game, but I could understand. Because I think what Arne Slot tries to see as well is I'm not too more worried about the attack. I think it's just like get the defensive and the midfield and even the attacking plays just to defend as a team. And you know, with that 1-0, sometimes, you know, if we won 5-0 or 4-0, people would have said, oh yeah, Inter Milan is dead. They're crap. Or, you know, this is what happens in Champions League. You know, these teams like Barcelona, Real Madrid. But I think with the 1-0, it just kind of makes people to go, rah, like, we held on to that. You know, but Inter Milan had a few chances, but we kept him at bay. I think Virgil van Dijk played well today. I think Konate, and listen, like I said, Konate played well against Leeds. Bar that mistake, he actually played really well. And yesterday as well, he played well. Joe Gomez having that sort of flank. And you can almost see, and I think Cass said it on Never a Foul, you can see that Liverpool's really wants to play with three at the back. You know, with Adam Robertson and Joe Gomez, you know, hugging that sort of touchline, that sort of wing play that they have. You can see for the likes of Frimpong when he comes into the fold, or even when Conor Bradley came on, you can see that we're trying to play three at the back as well. Yes, it might be four defenders on the team sheet, but I think when you actually see it in totality, well, when you're watching it in the game, yeah, I think it's more or less a three at the back, right? With one of the midfielders dropping in. You see Ryan Gravenberch dropping in a couple of times as well to make it a three, and you had Joe Gomez and Andrew Robertson pushing really high, trying to support the likes of Isak and Ekitike. I think, but you know, with Liverpool sort of idea, this is the reason why Ruben Amorim wasn't, you know, considered for us, is because he plays a three at the back, and I think with Liverpool Football Club, they want to still maintain playing with, you know, with four, you know what I'm saying here, people. But so with that being said, I genuinely think, can we kick on? That's the real question for Arne Slot. I know in individual games, like for example, like the Leeds game, like this game against Inter Milan yesterday, I know you can, you know, you have the tactical nous to sort of play, you know, in a way that sort of frustrates the opposition to nick a 1-0 win at the San Siro and go home. But can you build on that? Because listen, we beat Real Madrid and we thought that was momentum, right? And prior to that as well was the Aston Villa game. We beat them, got Real Madrid, and look what happened after that. Just L's, 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 L's. But this time round, with everything that's going on in the media, with everything we've going on with Mo Salah, with Arne Slot himself as well, can he actually get something out of this? Like, could this really be a start of, especially when you bench one of the legends at the club, especially when you know that you are under, you know, the firing line. Could you really now galvanize the play? And it was so lovely. Shout out to the Liverpool fans who were at the San Siro that sang Arne Slot's name at the end. I've said it time again, people. I want to back this manager. I do. I still believe, even though I just mentioned about Jabi Alonso, but I still believe that this manager is still the manager for Liverpool. I still believe that he's a good coach. I still want to back him. I really, 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 really want to back him, right? But he now is a pay-as-you-go thing. He really needs to show me each game, all right, he's improving something. We got Brighton on the weekend. I hope Salah's on the bench, or I hope Salah, no, not Salah's on the bench, but I hope Salah is in the mix with that as well before he goes to AFCON. I hope the man can sort out their beefing, you know what I'm saying? But I genuinely just believe that if we can go to Brighton and get a win out of that with the sort of same momentum that we had with the Leeds, even though it was a draw, and even at the San Siro against Inter Milan, and going to Brighton and get a dub, yeah, that's when I will start saying, okay, it still has a pay-as-you-go moment. I'm not backing you just yet. I'm not just backing you fully, but I'm looking at it and thinking, all right, Slot, you're starting to change my mind, right? You're starting to change Liverpool's fans. If it means that you're still the manager that can still take us to, you know, despite the season that we're having now, top four should be the aim. You should be in Champions League, and if he still can get there, we'll see what happens at the end of the season. Quick person that I want to highlight, Isak. Mo Salah's not going to be there. We need standout people. Szoboszlai's been getting these plaudits this season, and it's such a shame for Szoboszlai where he's having a better season that he had last season, and everybody around him has been trash. It's so jarring. It is so jarring because I think Szoboszlai will be in the conversation with the Declan Rices, with the Caicedos, if Liverpool was doing really well. I think there will be such a different conversation if Liverpool was doing well. But hey ho, it is what it is. But Isak, my bro, I know I've said the football gods don't want you to play, but when you got someone like Ekitike and games like this, Give us something. Give us something. Do you know what I'm saying? Yesterday, you lost the ball a couple of times. I don't think I even saw you link up with Ekitike. No, I saw Ekitike try and link up with you. I saw Ekitike drop, like he does, dropping in the half spaces, picking up the ball from the midfielders, trying to do something, moving onto the wing, trying to come inside. He had a couple shots there and there. Isak, you need that. You know, especially when you know that Salah's going to AFCON, we'll be looking at, for example, like the Isaks and the Ekitikes to really, you know, score for us, right? I know Gakpo's going to be out as well for a couple of weeks as well. So it's Isak, it's people like you that needs to just to step up a bit. I'm not saying that you have to score, but I'm just saying that, bro, you need to start getting to rhythm. I gave you the benefit of the doubt, and yes, I know the football gods don't want you to play football, but when you have those opportunities, like games like at the San Siro, when you have spaces to run into, you have time to sort of think and look up and try to pass the ball to certain players. Don't get me wrong, which you did a little bit, but at the same time, there's too many loose balls, getting pressed like a bit more, especially when you know the likes of Salah ain't going to be there. But that's it, people. That's my Liverpool takeaway. I'm impressed. I'm happy, but it's still a pay-as-you-go thing with Liverpool at the moment, and with Arne Slot. It's still that. He still hasn't really got my full backing just yet. But you're questioning me. You're questioning me. And like I said, I do want to back you. But hey, you know, for the last couple of results and everything, I do look at you as the manager. It's only turned around against Leeds, where I can say Leeds wasn't on you, it was just on the players. Man City play Real Madrid. I just want to give a small sort of nugget there. Both teams that have fragility in their back line. This game can go either way. But I genuinely think with the likes of Mbappe and Camavinga being out due to injury, I think that it's a City win. I think City is going to win this game. I'm looking forward to this game. You know, I was looking forward to the Liverpool game, but I think this game was the game that I do want to watch and really see where both teams are. And listen, it's mad pressure on Jabi Alonso. You know, despite if Liverpool are back in Arne Slot and we're not looking at Jabi Alonso, it's still a massive, massive pressure cooker for Jabi Alonso. So, you know, dealing with egos, dealing with someone who played a very different formation at Bayern Leverkusen with a different sort of players. I think coming to Real Madrid, I think he's putting a brave face. I see his comments in the press conference. I know he's trying to put a brave face, but I think it's really getting to him. The Real Madrid gig, is very tough, and the pressure there. They're saying that if he doesn't win against City, he's getting the boot. Hey, listen, man. Today I'm just watching it as a neutral. I don't really care who wins on that game, but we will see. But don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, people. Take care.